Hello, it's Grace. I got a Gel X nail kit and I did it with the like tips for the first time. 3 of them fell off in the first day, so what are you gonna do? But then I used just the regular gel polish, so this is my first time. Will it focus? So that's exciting and new with me. And I did just take a shower and am about to go to sleep. But first I wanted to introduce you to the idea that not everyone gets to have access to you, and knowing you is a privilege. And what I mean by this is I think for so long I kind of allowed so many little kind of superficial, like surface level friendships exist in my life, even though it was such a difficult thing to maintain all of them, and I constantly felt like there was someone I needed to respond to or someone I needed to answer, and relationships that I needed to keep fostering, even if they weren't very genuine. I feel like the first time I struggled with this was 5 years ago. I remember deleting Snapchat and feeling like it was just such a relief. It was like right after we got sent home from school because of COVID in March of 2020, and suddenly there was like 20 to 30 people fewer that I had to be in contact with. And you know how like on Snapchat when you're young, I don't know if it's still like this because I haven't had it in so long, but you end up talking, like people will just add you like, oh, a friend of a friend, and then you end up having so many kind of acquaintances and people who you watch their stories and they watch your stories, but you don't know them. And I feel like taking a step back from social media in general has been huge for me in this, because now I only have Instagram. And most of the time I have it deactivated. I'll activate it a couple times a year or every few months, just to check in with like what people are doing and maybe post something myself, but I don't have it day to day. And I feel like that has also been huge for me, because once you let go of relationships that don't really mean much to either person or that are very surface level, and listen, there's a place for acquaintances. There's totally a time and place for acquaintances and friends of friends, and I'm always very social and very nice to everybody. But feeling like you have to be in contact with so many people, or even just that you have to be aware of what so many other people are doing and thinking every single day, like even if you're not in direct contact, you go on Instagram, you see what your cousin's roommate is eating for lunch, you see what your ex-boyfriend is doing with his new girl, you see what this random person who you had a class with a couple years ago, you don't remember which class it was, but you had some class together, and they're posting their opinion on something political. And it's like, we're just exposed to so many people all the time now, and it's not normal and it's not healthy. And I think once you take a step back from everything that's superficial, it makes the relationships that you do have so much more fulfilling. Like I have lovely relationships with all my coworkers, and I have lovely friendships with the people that I went to school with and the people that I've met throughout my life. I have a wonderful relationship with my boyfriend. I have great family relationships, and I'm not on social media really at all. And I think once you kind of make your circle smaller and sort of protect your peace, as they say, and you stop giving your time away to relationships that don't really mean much to either party, and relationships where it wouldn't make a difference and you probably wouldn't notice if that person deleted their account, and they wouldn't notice if you deleted your account, you just get to foster the relationships that are really truly good for you and the ones that are meaningful. And I think sometimes we can feel spread so thin because we feel like we're in contact with, or at least exposed to, so many more people than the amount of people that we're actually close to. And I think it's kind of exhausting to have that constant exposure, and also to feel like everything you're doing is being watched. Part of why I keep my Instagram deactivated is I don't like the idea of me having the app deleted and like minding my own business here, and then someone I don't know can just look at my profile, or even someone I do know can just like look at my profile. I don't know, there's just something about social media that's very public, and it's like people could be looking at that whenever. Like, isn't it kind of icky and weird to think about someone looking at your Instagram and like forming ideas and beliefs about you, or being like, oh, she graduated in this year, oh, I don't know, something about it. And the information overload, not just the information we take in, but also the information we put out, and how widely that's received. And I know you could say the same thing about YouTube, like people could just watch my videos whenever, but that's because I have something to say. And so that feels a little bit different to me. I mean, it is still a little bit weird, just the fact that everything exists forever online, but Anyway, this is a very long-winded way of me getting to the point of something my sister told me about years ago. She's like, you have to realize that knowing you is a privilege. And I think it was because I was seeing some guy who was treating me like garbage when I was like 18. And I'm 23 now. But at that time, like, that really shifted my perspective. I was like, I don't have to put up with, and this is kind of drifting away from the topic of like superficial relationships and social media and all that, but I don't have to accept poor treatment. I don't have to maintain acquaintances or even friendships that aren't that deep if I feel bad when I'm around the person, or if the person is mean to me. And you just kind of have to kind of protect your peace in a way. That's the way I usually hear this kind of thought process described as, is protecting your peace. I think that's what it means anyway. But you kind of learn that your time and your energy, and to be in relationship with you, whether it's a friendship or like romantic relationship, family relationship, whatever it is, not that it's something that has to be earned, because I'm very anti the whole like self-care language of like, you don't owe anyone anything, you, because I do think we owe people basic respect and kindness and decency, even if we don't like know them or anything. Like, someone doesn't have to like earn your respect and earn your goodwill. But I mean, staying in like any kind of relationship with someone where it's not fulfilling, or like they make you feel bad and they don't treat you very well, or even if they just don't really add much to your life and you feel like it's just another person that you're having to extend yourself to. Because when you're really mindful of the people around you and who you choose to let into your life, those relationships get so much stronger because you have more to give them. And you don't have very much to give when you're being pulled in 1,000 different directions and having to Snapchat 30 people every day just to maintain a streak, even though you haven't even seen some of the people you're Snapchatting in person, or you haven't seen them in a really long time, or they're a friend of a friend, or whatever. We have to realize the beauty in having a kind of slower, more intimate life, and it's not for everybody. So I'm not being like, oh, you have to do this because I do this and it feels good. I just mean there's a lot to be said for a life led with more intention, and where every relationship in your life is one that you have the energy to foster and manage and watch it grow, and let those healthy relationships kind of form the foundation of your life. Because so much of life is who we have relationships with, and so much of how we feel is how those relationships are doing. And so I know if I am in a relationship or talking to someone, or you know, whatever, and the person doesn't treat me well, or they like will blow up at me sometimes, or when, you know, I've had like guys call me ugly before, and it's like, why am I still giving this person my energy? Why am I still giving this person any ounce of care, or better yet, trying to get them to stay in my life when they don't even treat me well? And it's kind of like, until I realized my own worth and the fact that not everyone gets to know me, and not everyone gets to be part of my life. And if you want to stay in my life, there are certain things that we have to both give each other, and those are respect and kindness. And it's not that hard. And I have a bunch of amazing friendships, and I have I have a ton of wonderful acquaintances as well, but that's why I have Instagram a few times a year. Like, check in with all of them a few times a year, see what they're up to, see what they're doing. I don't need to know what everyone's doing every day. So this is just your reminder, you don't have to keep all the noise in your life. And maybe the noise is the way someone treats you, or maybe the noise is following a ton of people on Instagram. If you don't know someone, if you don't like particularly like someone, if you don't see this person anymore, unfollow them. I hate the idea that like there's so much like drama that goes in an unfollow, or like I've had people DM me and be like, you unfollowed me. It's like, y'all, what are we doing? Like, it really doesn't matter that much, and it doesn't have to be this big personal thing. I don't know. And I remember talking to one of my friends about this and being like, oh, I unfollowed like everybody, and they were like, oh, I wish I could unfollow them, but like I just have like too many people that I need to keep up with. I was like, no, you don't. Like, okay, say on average you have 500 followers and you follow 500 people. I don't know if that's normal. I'm trying to find the balance between people who have like 3,000 followers and people who have like 200 followers. None of it matters. Do you know 500 people in your life? Could you call to mind an interaction or conversation that you had with every single person following you or every single person that you follow? No. And so they're not really adding to your life. You're not really adding to their life. Why is there still this connection in the social media relationship? Why is there this feeling of, I can't unfollow this person because it might hurt their feelings? You guys barely know each other. I think the way I think about social media can sometimes seem a little cutthroat, but like, it's not normal to be keeping up with this many people all the time. And it also deludes us into thinking we maybe have more relationships than we do. And when you have a bunch of surface level relationships, it's not meaningful, and it can feel like you're being spread too thin. Whereas if you have a few really nurturing, lovely relationships, it provides so much more meaning into your life and is so much more rewarding. So this, I guess, is just my reminder to you to be very intentional with who you allow into your life, and kind of protect your peace a little bit, and realize that knowing you is a privilege, and if someone treats you like shit, they don't get to have that privilege. They've lost it. Because getting to know you is a gift, and you have to treat yourself like that, because when you don't treat yourself like that, and when you let yourself be walked all over and let people treat you like shit and still keep them in your life, and maybe even still be begging them to stay if they don't want to, you're reinforcing to your subconscious mind that you have low self-worth and that you don't deserve better. It's very easy to believe that how you've been treated is how you deserve to be treated, but it's not true. If you've been treated like garbage, you need to kind of have some respect for yourself and not let those people in your life anymore, because they don't deserve it. They haven't earned the right to be there. They haven't earned the right to be here, but they've lost the right. Anyway, so that's my evening ramble. I wonder if I have a good crack in me. No. Ow, fuck. That didn't feel very good. Okay, anyway, I am going to go to sleep, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.